Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Committee of the Whole special meeting for April 7, 2026. I ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Batterman?
Here.
Daney? Here. Gansey?
Here.
Hopkins?
Here.
Laporte?
Here.
Swansky?
She's online.
Swansky?
Renee, she's on there. She's muted.
And President Gunstein.
Here. All right, that'll take us to our town hall portion of the meeting. If anybody would like to address the board, please do so by stepping up to the podium, and please try to keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. State your name and address. Anybody in the audience that wants to address the board? All right. Anybody online? Nope. All right. That'll close the town hall portion of the meeting, and we will go to the Lake Street TIF vision exercise.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for having us back. Real quick, my name's Nick Davis. I'm a principal at House of Levine. With me is Corey Levine, also a principal at House of Levine. And as you know, we were hired by the village to start preparing these concept plans and take us through a market and financial component to really better understand what we can do on this overall study area. Tonight, what we want to work through is an exercise with you, just collect some information, better understand what you think some of the issues and the challenges are, what you think some of the opportunities are. It's more of a discussion. You're going to do more talking than I am today. And what we'll do is we'll go through kind of question by question. I have a sheet that we're going to work together on, and just learn as much as we can. Today's our first day in the field, kind of kicking off the project. We met with your department heads earlier this morning or this afternoon. We also did a quick study area tour, drove around. Talked on the site for a little bit. We had a chance to walk around, get some photos, look at the context. So we're really hitting the ground running, getting pretty excited to go through this process. One of the things I want to make sure is clear as we start is we're still information gathering. This is like a homework phase. We're trying to learn as much as we can. So don't assume that we know, maybe what you already know. So please share as much as you possibly can. We're going through past plans and studies and reports that have been submitted to us by Christy, just to have a better understanding of what's been done in the past and what's been talked about. But this really next 2 weeks of this process is us doing that homework phase, that information gathering phase. Just as an overview of where we're at in the process, we're kicking off and where we're going. So after these next 2 weeks, because it is a short time frame for the overall project, Corey and I will work with our team, and we'll take the information that we gather from discussions with you, the department heads, and also village staff. We have focus groups next week, so we're meeting with some targeted groups. We can talk more about that later today. And then our team will start preparing the concept plan. So we'll start going into that sketch plan phase. So that's phase 2. We'll prepare 3 options. We'll kind of work through different iterations, what that looks like. Working with me each group, using the market component that he'll pull together, the market assessment. We'll have a better understanding of like what could the market support, what should we be considering based on some of the recommendations that we hear from these different groups. Are there other things that we should maybe do a stretch goal for or consider, and what would those impacts be? And we'll go back and forth with Michio to make sure that we're dialing that in with the 3 concepts that we're preparing. Then we'll be back to present to village staff. We'll meet with you to get your feedback. We'll do a public open house to get the community's feedback and response on what we're preparing. And then once that's completed, we'll make refinements and we'll go into the preferred plan itself. That'll be phase 3. And so phase 3 is us just refining that into one concept to start moving forward to market. What are some other considerations financially that the village may need to be considering? We'll prepare a series of visualizations and a 3D model to really give people a strong understanding of what this could be in the future. And that's really the path that we're taking. So it's over the next 3 to 4 months. That's our focus. But today we're really just here to information gathering. We haven't started any sketches or anything like that. I know that's something that we often get asked, but we're just not at that phase. But in the next few weeks, we will be. So before we start the exercise, I just want to make sure, any questions about process, any questions about what we're doing over the next couple of weeks?
Do you think what we're doing is aggressive as far as our time frame?
Oh, no, not at all. I'd say 3 to 4 months is an appropriate amount of time. Corey and I are actually wrapping up 2 different projects that have been about a 3 or 4 month process. So no, I think it's good. Always what we tell people, it's that open house timeline is kind of what drives everything else. So when we get that open house date locked in, no, I think we're right on path.
Do you think people or municipalities with a key piece of property like this in a TIF district, are we on the right approach?
Yes. So that was something we talked about earlier today with the department heads as well. This is especially because a lot of what's driving, it's not the only thing, but a lot of what's driving this is the realignment of Oak Avenue and the fact that we have a better sense of what that timeline is, what their phase 1 and phase 2 schedules are. Now is the time to plan for this. So you are ready for when that realignment comes in. You're starting to drive what you want to see on these future opportunity sites. That's a good message for development community, investment community. You have the TIF in place. You have other incentives in place. This is exactly what you should be doing at this time. So I think this is a good use of time, good use of funds.
Another quick question. All the properties that back up to, is it the 22 acres? Do you have a general sense of what other communities do and what have been successful to kind of buffer between the residents and this piece of property?
Yeah, that's also something we were looking at because the site does dip down a little bit in that area as well. So certainly something we're going to need to examine as we start getting into the concepts. It largely depends on the use that we're proposing on the 22 acres. So if it's a similar type of use, the buffer is less of an issue. If it's a use where we feel this does need a more substantial edge and treatment, we'll certainly make sure the space is set aside and that we identify what that is. There's also some low-lying ground there to begin with, so I think that's already some space that we're going to be able to use. But yeah, we'll make sure that we're kind and friendly to the neighbors that are around this and to keep that in mind. Yep. Any other questions, comments? Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. I'm going to hand out this exercise. Do me a favor. Two things. One, if you need a pen, let me know. I think I have a couple of pens. But two, don't jump ahead. So just do the first question. It looks like a lot of questions. We're probably not going to get through all of them. I really want to make sure we get through the first 4. That's really important. The back half, if you're sort of looking for a cheat sheet, that's a good idea of like what we typically would hope to talk about in this discussion. But it's these first 4 questions we want to spend most of our time on. Yeah, you can hand it out. The other part is, yeah, like I said, don't jump ahead. You can peek ahead, but don't start filling out the second, third, or fourth question. We're going to do this exercise together. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to, 1, get the packet, and then 2, take a few minutes and fill out the first question. But while Corey's handing this out, so the first question, what do you believe are the top 5 issues or concerns facing this study area? And if you need to, I think Christy's able to pull it up on the big screen here, what the overall study area is. But what we're asking is, and it's sort of a 2-part question, what are the big issues, what are the big concerns for the study area? And it doesn't have to be just what's inside the study area. If you feel like there's some concerns about context, so I think like the last question that you had mentioned about potentially impacts to the residential areas around, those are good questions, those are good comments. So take a few minutes, fill these out. If you have questions, just raise your hand. But we're just trying to get a sense of what you think we need to be aware of as we start this process. I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes. Thanks, Christy.
Hey, John, can we raise the volume of the speakers a little bit off that microphone?
Oh, is it me? I can speak
It's okay. We can raise it up a little bit.
more clearly.
There's a few of us that are hard hearing up here.
I need to use the mic better. So, is that better?
It's good, yeah.
Okay. I'll give you a little bit more time here. I'm seeing some heads pop up. Okay. And you can keep writing. Please don't stop writing. You can fill out question 1. I'm going to start, no particular order. We'll start here on the outside. If you want to do me a favor, just give me one of your issues. We're gonna get a chance for everybody to give a couple, but just give me your one issue that you wanna kick us off with.
The last thing I wrote down was downtown to uptown. So we've got a lot of traffic here in downtown. We want to start driving visitors to uptown, which would be where
Okay, so
we're closing a site.
get a little bit more gravity to that uptown area.
Maybe in between, downtown to uptown.
All right, downtown to uptown. All right, that's good. We're going to paraphrase, so do me a favor, please write these out in detail on your notes. We'll collect this. If you want, you can take a photo. But we'll summarize both, don't worry.
Downtown is our train station, so that's what I'm thinking.
I like that, yeah, uptown. It's good. How about you?
The motivation of current property owners?
Motivation of current property owners, not motivated to make the improvements we want or to redevelop. Okay, yeah, so maybe lack of motivation from current property owners, certainly a consideration. Is that study area specific or kind of in and around the study area too? Okay, all right, good to know.
I'm here.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Lake Street is a high-traffic corridor.
Lake Street is a high traffic corridor. That is for sure. When we were out there walking around, it was heavily trafficked. Go ahead, Ray.
Oh, it's my turn?
Go ahead.
Well, basically, you could tie, first thing I said was the economic impact, and that's in conjunction with what Trustee Bannerman had said. You know, I want to make sure that we still promote the downtown area. And so you basically have that up. We already addressed the issue of the high traffic pattern there, because I had written down congestion. So the last thing that I have that's
Oh, just give me, I'll do one. I want to go back to that first one, though. The economic impact, is the concern, when you say economic impact, is there a concern that what we plan for there could impact the downtown in a negative way? Okay, yeah, no, that's a fair concern. Okay, so impacts for the downtown in this area are, yeah, that's a good one. We'll come back. You're gonna get a chance to give us more than one. And if we, by the way, if we get to you as we get towards the end here, if all of yours are already up here, that's perfectly fine. Just say pass. Go ahead.
Concerned that it would be all franchise or the same stuff we see everywhere.
Yeah, so you want to, are we saying we don't want to see any franchises, or we want a balance, a mix of maybe franchises with something more local?
Or even just not the same, like Starbucks, Dunkin', like maybe some of the up-and-coming ones.
Okay, yeah, so different franchise considerations. We don't want to look like corridor anywhere. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'd say revenue diversity. So I'd like to see residential, commercial, retail, and possibly a hotel.
Okay, that's great.
I'm concerned, I want to see long-term financial stability.
Okay, I like that. So revenue diversity, specific uses you cited were residential, commercial, even potentially a hotel. Yeah, that's great. What drives the desire for a hotel, just out of curiosity?
Transient tax.
Okay. Wow, taxes, yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah.
We don't have one.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, it's 19% tax in Chicago.
It's a big number, no doubt. All right, do you have one more? Do you have another one?
I'll dip one in there.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
First,
Yeah, I
so
did
that's
jump
all right.
around.
There's a couple things I have, but I think the biggest one is marketing this so people that are attracted to it believe in it as this development goes forward, as much as we believe in it as a village, and attracting those developers in here. So that's, to me, that's a big one. So it has to be marketed properly to attract those users. I actually disagree. I think some franchises are good to a certain extent. I think high traffic businesses is a big key to the success.
Yeah, well, and I think it was maybe not the same ones we might see like every corridor. I agree, I think that's good. So how we market this property, I really like, I'm not gonna ask Corey to write all this, but I do like the intent being, we want someone to care about this as much as the village cares about this. If you're gonna come in and develop here, that's a strong tone to strike and something we can kind of build into the plan's recommendations. So I like
think
that.
part of the marketing of the property is to attract business, but it's also to address number two, which was the lack of motivation. You're always going to have the people that butt up against it, not in my backyard.
Sure.
So if we could make it appealing to them, because we know that that'll happen just because we're putting something back there.
Yeah.
So market to the developers, but also make sure that the people that are living around that area are happy.
Yeah, I would say, one of the first questions before we even kind of launched into this was, is now the right time to do this? I think now is the right time to work through like trade-off discussions and get that buy-in and that community support. So then when the alignment has occurred and you're really looking at strategically repositioning these properties, you're not guessing what do people want to see here. You know what people want to see. You've been working on this for a couple of years. You're ready to kind of set that stage. So that is why we should be doing this now. So I think that's a really good point. We want everybody to participate in this process. That's really good. Let's go back around. Did you have another one?
Yeah, 3 of my 5 are hit already, but I did want to point out that there is a middle school right in the midst of this. So we have to deal with students early in the morning and late in the afternoon.
Yeah, school, middle school impacts.
Buses.
All right, that's good. Do you have another one? Nope, that's good. Do you want us to come back to you? Yeah. All right.
Go ahead, Ray.
I'm good.
You're
My
good.
turn, wait, hold on.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Online.
I think we need to recognize that this is a main entrance into Bartlett itself, into the downtown area, and we want it to reflect that when people are coming into Bartlett off of Bartlett Road,
Yeah, this is
when it comes to the realignment.
Yeah, no, that's really important. I mean, you have a gateway sort of now right there at Oak Avenue, but with that realignment, you want to make sure that intersection serves as that entry point and does what you want it to do, which is announcing Bartlett. So that's a really good point. Yep.
Renee might have been thinking of this as well, but I'd like to see where you can walk from downtown to there. I would hate to think I have to like drive to get into it, that if there's some kind of connectivity from it.
To the downtown? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so connecting, I think that's great, like a walkable connection from, we'll say uptown to downtown, so.
Yeah, I've got inclusive place that feels safe, connected, and rooted in local identity.
Say that again, that was good.
Inclusive place that feels safe, connected, and rooted in local identity.
All right, that's good, yeah. I'd say that ties in really nicely with 9 and 10, but just making sure that this, not just a gateway announcement, like this whole district feels like it's tied to Bartlett and it feels very Bartlett is going to be important. So, say it again because it's long. You got a couple there. But I like the inclusive.
Inclusive place that feels safe, connected, and rooted in local identity.
Inclusive place, safe, connected, that rooted in local character, local identity is going to be important. And you have a big opportunity. This is a large site. That's the other thing too, is I think as you start to see some of the things that we program here, you're going to have functional areas within here that you have different opportunities to explore with different uses. It's going to be a substantial design. So I think that's something as we come back to you, you'll see as we go through the process. Okay, I know we've gone around twice. If you have one more, just raise your hand. We'll call on you directly. Yeah, go ahead.
So I have a problem with parking. I don't want to see another parking lot, and I don't think our community wants a parking lot. So if we can somehow shield or put all the vehicles out of sight, I think that would be great.
All right, so minimize
Parking, I think,
visibility
is
of parking. No, that's good. Yeah. Parking visibility. Sorry, we missed you on the second round.
I want to see this property, the whole site maximized to the highest level that we can get from a tax standpoint.
Okay.
That this is a business and we're here to, generate tax revenue out of here. So I want to make sure that this is what we bring here generates good tax revenue for our village.
Okay. What we bring here needs to generate good tax revenue for the village. And you don't necessarily mean highest and best use so much as you want to make sure that it's generating revenue for the village So you
Long-term,
have an opportunity to like provide the uses that you think are missing, so,
correct, and long-term.
long-term, okay.
The other thing that we should keep in mind is if you guys could tap into what our neighbors are already doing. So like Bloomingdale tore down the shopping center. They're creating a man-made lake. They're building restaurants around the lake. There's going to be a giant indoor football, baseball. So we don't want to copy what they're doing. We don't reinvent the wheel. But the lake was a nice idea to put the restaurants around it. So if we've got natural
Yeah,
if we got areas that are going to be nature preserves or water retention, let's use those to our advantage and make those an amenity and an asset that the community can benefit from.
yeah, some really good discussions earlier today. Oh, I'll take that one. We had a really good conversation this morning, very similar idea about how do we make amenities around these natural areas, the naturalized spaces. Like we know we're gonna have wetlands, we know we're gonna have some low-lying ground. So what can we do to kind of build off of that? And then, but make sure that it's more than just passive trails. You know, it can be something more substantial. It could be like outdoor dining, could be activating and programming that space. There's a lot of things you can do to, I think, take advantage of that and also generate revenue from it, which would be nice. So, yeah. Anybody else have another one they want to add? No?
Make sure that when we talk about highest and best use, or if we're talking about maximizing, that we keep the residents that live over there in mind. I think that should be
Yeah.
one of the number one priorities. I mean, they know it's going to get developed, but what they're accustomed to is going to change.
Yeah. I think in an effort to clarify, I said highest and best use, and I know that's not what you said. What I meant was there are other uses that we could explore that would be, you know, maybe a better performing, but it's not appropriate for that site. So we understand that, and I agree. When we take this in front of the community, the feedback that we get there, we want to make sure that these are uses that they want as well, not just the population that doesn't live here now that might in the future. That's a good point. Okay, any other final thoughts, final comments, concerns here?
Just jumping the gun a little bit, but the community feedback or input, where's that on the schedule? You might have already said it.
I did it really quick, so I apologize. The next steps are, once we're done in these next couple of weeks, we'll prepare a series of sketch options, sketch plans, so just 3 different iterations, something to consider. We'll share that with the village staff. We'll present it to you. We'll make some refinements, and then we'll have a public open house and have, you know, a big room wherever we end up holding it. And we'll walk through the different iterations and what we're considering. We'll have a presentation. That'll be the opportunity for the public to give us feedback. Could be residents, business owners, property owners, whoever it might be. And then we'll refine, and leaving that open house based on feedback from you, the village staff, and the community, we'll zero in on like one preferred concept, and then we'll come back and you'll see that again. So couple opportunities, yep.
It'd be good to invite the people in that, of course, the whole community is invited, but to target people in that neighborhood to get them out in advance so that their feedback can be heard initially.
I think it would be very helpful, certainly at that open house, you could do like a targeted, either if it's a mailing or just get the word out, make sure that those people have an opportunity to voice. I think that's a good point. Yep. Okay, no other issues. You can leave that there. All right, what I want you to do next, we're gonna go on to question number 2. And what I want you to do is, so we have 15, we've identified 15 issues or concerns. What I want to know now is what's your priorities for these? And so all you need to do is just fill out number 1, 2, or 3, whatever it is. You have 3 options there. So let's say like your number 1 issue is parking visibility. All I need you to do is write number 12, and then we'll collect this and break it down from there.
Can you put that back?
Yeah, I was gonna say, we can
Stick it to it.
Closer.
Just stick it right below that.
yeah, that's a good.
Can use our cameras and zoom. Heck no. Really? No.
1 is drive or traffic between uptown and downtown, so just driving traffic between the two. Number 2 is a lack of motivation from within the study area, so from property owners within the study area. Number 3 is Lake Street, high traffic, certainly something we've seen. Number 4, downtown economic impact, so what impacts might this study area have? Number 5 is different franchise combinations, so just making sure that it's not repetitive to what we're seeing in and around the region. Number 6, revenue diversity, looking at uses like commercial, residential, and hotel. Number 7 is marketing of property. Number 8 is school impact, bus/traffic. Number 9 is gateway entry into Bartlett. Number 10, connectivity to the downtown. So connecting downtown and uptown, pedestrian connectivity, walkable. Number 11 is inclusive, safe, connected, rooted in local identity. Number 12 is parking visibility and just reducing that, making sure that it's kind of tucked away. 13 is tax revenue for the village, just making sure that in the long term, this is a productive opportunity for redevelopment. Number 14 is utilizing amenities plus assets on site, so capitalizing on the wetlands and the low-lying areas. And then number 15 is,
Keep the needs of the residents.
oh yeah, keep the needs of the residents. Sorry, it's like slight angle.
What number is that, 15?
That was number 15. So just,
And can I add one to that?
yeah,
I think we want to create a destination. I think we want this to be a destination so people want to go there, and not just one building or two buildings. We want it to be a place where, hey, I'm keeping my money in Bartlett, I'm going to this, and I can get multiple things. I can go for dinner, drinks, shopping.
yeah.
I can live here. So I think I don't want to lose sight of the fact that we want to make this a destination as well as a gateway to our rest of Bartlett. It is the north entrance to our town.
Yeah, I think that's great. So creating a destination and doing all the things you just said, I think are something this site is more than capable of handling in terms of the scale of it. So that's the number 16. Okay, so what I want you to do is just list these in priority for you, and you only get to pick 3. We're going to go around. I just want to get a sense of what everybody's picking, and we'll go from there. So does anybody need a minute?
I'm just pulling a Lorna here and taking a picture as well.
That's fine. All right. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Regardless, and we're going to collect these and we'll break these down, so don't worry about the order. If you put number 1 as your number 1, number 2, or number 3 issue, that's fine. But so if you've written number 1, I just want you to raise your hand. So who had number 1, driving traffic between uptown and downtown?
I had it combined with number 10.
That's okay, yeah. All
So
right.
I combined 10 and 1 together.
All right, so did anyone else either do 1 or 10 as a combination? Is that a logical? And we're going to collapse these.
Kind of assumed you were going to
yeah,
do that
exactly.
at the end.
We'll collapse these. It's always, when we're doing the ideas, I think it's hard to convince people to do that. But when we go through this, you'll see why. But did anybody have 1 or 10 connecting downtown and then driving that traffic between? All right, so I have 2 people. Yeah, 2. All right. All right, who had number 2, a lack of motivation within the study area for redevelopment from property owners?
I said number 2 and number 15 kind of go together. Just keep the residents in mind.
Okay, well, did you have 2?
I had number 2.
All right, let's do 2. So you had 1 for 2. Number 3, Lake Street, high traffic, big concern. You have 1, okay? Who had number 4, downtown's impact on the economic factors in downtown? 0. Okay, 0 votes, still a high priority, still something we're going to look at. Certainly an impact.
I think if you clarified if it was a positive or a negative impact.
That's true, yeah. If it's a net, we obviously want to avoid the negative impact, and I think that's something we'll be mindful of. But I think going back to what we're talking about in 1 and even in 10, like that, there are some, I don't know a better word than synergy, but like there is going to be some relationship between a successful uptown and a successful downtown, but you don't want to cannibalize uses. You don't want to hurt the downtown. You've spent a lot of time and effort here, so we want to make sure that we're mindful of that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I had written down again, economic impact. Would that be what we're talking about there in number 4?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You-
More so, that one was more so to the downtown, like what impact could that study area have on the economics of downtown? And I think to your point, it could be good or bad. I mean, that's something we need to be mindful of.
So you can add me to that one.
Okay, so we have one, okay.
I just want to be mindful that trustee Swansky is online, and I'm not
yeah.
sure if she's trying to peek in and mention any numbers that she has written down.
Well, I can't see what you have, what you have as far, so I'm just waiting to hear and then I'll just pop in.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, if there's any that I say out loud,
Thank you.
just say, yes, that's me. Okay. All right, number 5, just being mindful of having a different mix of franchises. If we're exploring franchises, we want to have a different mix. Anybody have that? All right, 1. All right, that's good. Number 6, revenue diversity, looking at commercial. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, good.
5.
5. Let's make it 5. All right. Thank you. All right. Number 7. Just how we market the property, making sure we're bringing in someone who's as invested as the village, to make sure we have the successful project that we're looking for. 1. Okay, 1. All right. Number 8. School impact, bus traffic, anything else related to that middle school on the east side. All right, 0. Number 9, this is a gateway into Bartlett. Let's make sure we treat it as such. All right, 1, 2, 2.
3.
3. I wondered. All right, number 10, connectivity downtown. So connecting downtown and uptown, which is, we sort of tied to number 2. Who had that one? Anybody?
10.
So 1, 2. Okay, probably 3. Yep, 3. Number 11, inclusive, safe, connected, and rooted in local identity. Okay, 0. Number 12, just parking visibility, minimizing how much we see from the road. Okay, 0. And number 13, tax revenue for the village, making sure that this is a profitable, yep, 1, 2, 3.
Similar to that.
Yeah,
4.
that's good. 4. All right, let's do 4. All right, sorry, Corey. And then number 14, utilizing amenities and assets on site. Yeah, 1. Then number 15, keeping the needs of the surrounding residents in mind when we plan for this. 1, 2. Okay, 2.
3.
3.
3.
Number 16 is making sure that we're creating a destination. Yes. 1, 2. Online? Renee? 2. All right.
3.
Oh, 3. I knew it.
5 times.
All right.
I
Okay.
add up the math there. That's not,
Look, I say like
36 votes there.
very Chicago, vote early, vote often. So,
Funny.
no, this is good.
Wait, hold on. I'm coming back from the dead to vote again.
You're good. We're good.
How is it you don't vote on your own idea?
Oh, that's good. That's why we do this.
Funded it.
I think, so this is why this exercise is important. 1, these are still 16 issues that we're going to look into and we are going to consider, but it does help us understand what you think are priorities. And what I love about this exercise is there are people who come here with 3 things in their mind and they leave with other ideas because you hear others, you're like, that is actually more important. I think that's a higher priority. Still important though, all of these. Yes.
Does Housel Levine also market the property, or you just prepare it to market?
We will prepare concepts that you can use to market this
Okay.
property, yeah. I think you're working with A5, you're working with a firm that can
Yeah,
help you do
I just
this.
wanted to clarify.
Yep, yeah, so John Harris has got it. All right, so next steps. Okay, this one we're gonna do a little differently. It's gonna be popcorn style. So what I want you to do is identify just actions or projects or improvements that you would like to see in the study area. And so this is where we need you to be a little more just specific. I'll give you an example, so you don't have to write this one, but maybe you want to design a very unique, larger scale gateway that goes as part of that intersection improvement that announces like that's a very specific project that you'd want implemented when the alignment is complete. And I always tell people, this is like, you're in charge for a day. Let's not worry about how we finance it or how it gets paid for. The idea is we're generating thoughts or big ideas. We'll work on, how that's fiscally responsible or how we tie it in with other recommendations, but we're just looking for big ideas, big projects. So you're in charge. What do you want to see happen like tomorrow? And that's what we would want in this list.
Attributes of the property or the actual uses?
Could be either, probably more so the attributes, like specifically what you want to see. Maybe there's a specific use you want, or there's a specific way you want to use a part of the property. And I know we're zeroing in, we're getting into like some pretty detailed stuff, but it just gives us a sense. We've talked about some high level stuff. What's a specific action? Maybe one of it's, I want to explore some of the zoning requirements here, or whatever it might be. Just give us an idea of what's important to you.
To keep it rooted in local identity, Tom's Vegetable Stand's been there forever.
Yeah.
So a home or a place for that.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Tying that in with maybe same location could house food trucks, 3 or 4 food trucks. So have hookups for food trucks.
Yeah, kind of build off of it. I like that. Yeah, and you don't have to write these, but you can. Yeah. Yeah, you can write them down. Yeah, just keep them going. But make sure you're writing these down on your sheet too, because we are going to collect these. Yeah, I love that. Like build off of Tom being there for many decades, and then and expand the idea. I think is a great concept. Anybody else? You can just raise your hand. You can go.
Entertainment businesses?
Entertainment businesses. Any specific? Give us an idea. Like, what are a couple of entertainment businesses that pop in your mind when you say that? I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm sorry. But I think what we're trying to do is, and this is for everybody to think about, why are people leaving Bartlett now? What do you feel like you're missing? Where are people going?
Like Topgolf or like video games.
Okay, yeah, all right, good.
I have that as well as an entertainment district. I look at Rosemont as a entertainment district in their area there.
Yeah.
And I think that we can capitalize on some of the things that they've done there to make this a destination. So, and I'll use some examples. Main Event, Dave & Buster's, Andretti Car Experience, what's going on in Schaumburg, Alpha Meacham, something of that nature incorporated into this.
Yeah.
To be able to say, hey, I'm going there for entertainment, and I'm going there to get groceries, and I'm going there to get dinner.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
I mean, we've got 3 golf courses already in the community. Add miniature golf to that.
All right, that's great. Yeah, I like that.
I would like to just say that I love all of those ideas. What I don't want to see is entertainment businesses that are kind of fads that 7 years from now we're going to be looking at an empty building.
Yeah, okay. So something that maybe a little more future-proof, a bit more tested.
Long-term.
Under a fad.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Specific project, specific action?
Housing that appeals to younger people.
Yeah, okay. Housing that appeals to younger people. And I think that's going to be a mix, right? That's going to be different types of multifamily, different types of single-family attached. It's not going to be one type. We're talking about layers of residential in this area is something we'll want to talk about.
Layers of businesses that would attract those different layers.
Yeah, no, exactly. There's going to be some interplay. This is a mixed-use development. It might be a multifamily. There could be, it's such a large site. And again, I know I've said that a couple of times, but there's a lot of different uses to explore here and for different reasons to kind of transition into the neighborhoods around, into the school to the east. So yeah, certainly something that we'll look at is what's missing at that residential price point. Why aren't people able maybe to move back as easily as they used to be able to, and what do we want to provide?
Well, and capitalize on rooftops and beer gardens. Rooftops or beer gardens.
Okay, yeah.
Whether the rooftop is on a restaurant or the rooftop is on top of the residential housing.
Okay.
I would say that if you look at, and I hate to compare us to other villages, but if you look at Seven Bridges, Woodridge area, what they did with the mixed use on top of the retail, and then they encompassed a lot of freestanding restaurants and businesses in that area. It's made a desirable area. So using that, when I think about what we're gonna put here, I kind of think about different communities and what they've done.
Yeah,
And what's worked and how long it's been there. And so from a longevity standpoint, I think having that mixed use and the retail on the first floor, residential, second, third, fourth, whatever it is, parking garage, you know, to address the amount of cars that would be generated through the residents. And then I feel like we're putting a lot of emphasis and a lot of money and a lot of work into this Oak realignment. And it is, in my opinion, it needs to be marked as a gateway to our town. Nice grand entrance that tells people as they're going 55 miles an hour down the road that, hey, I should slow down and explore Bartlett and turn in here. And it leads to our downtown, which is a benefit. So we talk about an impact on our downtown. With that Oak realignment, that is now a direct drive through our downtown.
yeah, these are all good points.
Which, for years, people have always said that, you know, Bartlett's downtown doesn't have a main thoroughfare. It doesn't have a river. Well, we're creating a thoroughfare right off of the highway, right off of 20, you know, and we have the metro, so.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity to, I think, pull people off of Lake Street, bring them through this district, and then they travel even farther down into the downtown area. Like it's gonna be very connected, and you have a lot of control over all that space, which is a great opportunity.
Study the existing demographics to make sure that the rest of the town is gonna be interested in whatever goes in here. So if you got, the majority of our demographic is gonna be 55 plus, I don't think Andretti's gonna work here.
Sure.
But if the majority of the demographics is 20 and 30 somethings with kids, well, then that maybe makes more sense. So make sure the demographics of the existing village 5-10 years out matches what we put, or is best optimized.
Yeah. No, you make a good point. And the other thing too, it's like the housing options that a young professional or someone trying to move back to the community, what they're looking for is going to be similar to what some people who are maybe aging out of their space, they want to right size, they might be looking to live in these areas too. The uses that they want to spend their time and their money at could be very different. And so I think that's where, to your point, you got to be somewhat flexible, open to different ideas, a bit more diverse in your offerings. I think that's going to be something we'll talk about in the plan. It's good. Anybody else, an action, a project? Go ahead.
So we're Midwest Flat, and I know we talked about using the site assets, and there's dips and whatever, but I would love to see us transform that flat land into multi-elevation, kind of to Dan's point, where we have taller buildings, potentially some hills or some paths that go through, and pedestrian-centered. So.
Okay.
Pedestrian-centered elevations that potentially stairs, all ADA compliant, of course, with the grades, but something along the line of elevation.
Okay, that's good. When you say taller buildings, what are taller buildings? Like how tall is okay in this area?
Not one-story strip mall.
Got it. Okay, good.
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. All right, noted.
I like what he said, like with, like pedestrian walkways or something that would keep people there. Like you don't have to just be in a business to feel like you can be around there, that then you can like move around between it. Kind of like in, even Schaumburg has like the fountain, like it's pretty outside of it.
Yeah.
So it's like you might go in somewhere and then do some, you know, hang around for a little bit and then go somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to what Corey was saying earlier about, I think, leveraging and taking advantage of the space that we know is going to need to be naturalized to handle a lot of the water and different site factors. So just using that in a way that I think is more interesting than, you know, just it being a flat space. Certainly something we can look at. Anybody else? Any other ideas?
I would like to think if there was a hotel, it's not like the Holiday Inn, more like a boutique hotel, like.
More of a boutique. Okay. Yeah, not like 120 or 150 room. Maybe it's more like a 40 or a.
Yeah, like even IHG has like that Indigo brand.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, smaller scale.
That's a boutique. Crest Motel's boutique.
Oh, I just like that.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. All right, let's go to the last question on this page, and it might be where we end.
I will
Go ahead.
add one more thing. I think there is a need for some open space for people that live there to be able to assemble and be able to hang out. And I use like a gazebo or an outdoor area to be fit in to maybe some of the undesirable retail spaces and incorporate that in there so they have a place to walk and to just relax.
Yeah, and definitely going to be, I think, multiple opportunities to have those gathering spaces and opportunities for people to, you don't have to go somewhere to spend money always, like there needs to be spaces where you can gather, but then having proximity to some of the businesses is always great. So I think eyes on those opportunities are something we'll definitely explore.
I'm not an animal guy, but I've read a bunch of things about the public dog walks. People tend to really, it's a good place to gather and socialize.
Like a dog park, you mean? Yeah, okay.
Well, the
great.
open space makes me think of maybe something, a tower or some sort of a monument.
Yeah.
I know we're also considering a water tower improvement over the next 5 years. So potentially utilizing a water tower, but making it look more like a monument.
Oh, yeah, like a sculpture feature, an announcement feature, or something like that, tied to the water tower. Okay.
Big Ben comes to mind.
Big Ben, I love it. Big Bartlett. Yeah. Has anybody been to Peoria Heights where you can go to the top of their water tower?
Barrett?
Oh, it's wild. You can go in Peoria Heights, just north of Peoria.
Oh,
Overlooks the river. It's amazing.
that's awesome.
Yeah, scary.
I like Peoria.
Any other projects, improvements? Okay. The last one, and I always tell people, we spend a lot of time, we're going to talk about issues and concerns and problems. But this last one is equally as important for us. As we start this process, there are strengths, there are assets, there are things that we should be building off of when we go through. You mentioned the identity. We don't want to lose kind of what makes this community unique and set you apart. We don't want to make you like every other community. We want to build off of what works well. So what works well? What are your strengths? What are your assets? This can be specific to the site and its opportunities, but more so to Bartlett. Like what makes you unique in the region, and what do we need to consider as we go through this?
I think there's an opportunity to create a new identity in this area that represents the Village of Bartlett.
Okay.
Now we have a gazebo at Bartlett Park that's been used as our identity for many years. And I think there might be an opportunity to maybe possibly recreate something of that nature where when people drive by, they know that's Bartlett.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Our theme, our marketing has been you belong or we belong. So Bartlett's always been about the people, multi-generation families, family in general, community. So whatever ties into that, history.
Okay.
We've got the historic train station, multi-generations that, people that have lived here multiple generations. Golf. Athletics, children, family.
That's great. Good.
I think people are very loyal to Bartlett. We just don't have enough now to always keep them here.
Oh, sure. Like people want to stay. It's just the opportunities to stay are becoming more and more challenging. Yeah. Yeah, we're seeing that. I mean, that's not an issue unique to you, but it is an issue. Like people want to stay, and it's either the housing's not there, the type of housing, or the things that they like to do. They find themselves going to other places. So, yeah.
You asked what
I think that's Stephanie Trustee Gansey made a very valid point. People are loyal to Bartlett. I mean, many of us have lived here for over 40 years. So, we've seen ups and we've seen downs, and we've seen a great improvement in our downtown area. And I talk to people that don't live in Bartlett, and they'll say, "Wow, your downtown is really cool now," right? When 20 years ago it wasn't, so there was nothing there, right? But people drive down this Lake Street corridor, and it is so depressing. It has just been so depressing. So if that is your only visual of Bartlett in the past, why would you come in? So I think this is a great opportunity.
Yeah.
to
That's great. Yeah, no, that's a really good point.
make this look so much better so that people go, wow, Bartlett maybe really, even if it's, maybe I do want to go explore the downtown part. Maybe I do want to go to more brewing. Maybe I do want to go see what's in the streets of Bartlett. So,
This is just the feedback, our feedback. It'd be great to hear what the residents have to say, what their vision of Bartlett currently is, and what they see it to be down the road. Do they agree that it's family? Maybe they don't agree with that.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, good to know. I mean, that's stuff we can work with staff on and maybe get a better pulse on what the community thinks of, not just the community, but also the opportunity that we're talking about here.
I think one of the greatest strengths that we have is the opportunity to reel in the 40,000 cars a day that are going past there
Yeah.
and bring those people into our town to discover Bartlett and what we have. And this is the starting point for them.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that is a lot of revenue going up and down Lake Street. that
Agreed.
we could tap into.
Yeah. No, agreed. Anybody else? Okay. Like I said, so we have a couple questions on the back, but I think we're getting close to our time here. But
We got about 8 minutes.
okay, I'm gonna take full advantage of it. So we don't need, I don't expect to go through all of these questions. And maybe what I would do is if I was gonna summarize, because I think we've talked about some of these, probably the two I'm most interested in hearing from the group is number 5. So future land use discussions. And there's two ways we can do this. You could just shout out the types of uses you think you're interested in, residential, commercial, service, whatever it might be. I find what's also really helpful for us, and we've started to do this a little bit, are where are places that you feel people in Bartlett are going that you could emulate? And not necessarily copy, but like, I like this idea, this site is good for this, we're interested in exploring these opportunities. It doesn't mean we're gonna kind of copy that over, but I think it'll give us a sense of, what are you trying to attract? What are you trying to build here? Are there places that we should be aware of that you think are important to people in Bartlett that would inform those decisions? So, we talked about Rosemont, a really interesting mix of uses there. That's stuff that we can look at, the downtown Rosemont. What are some other things we should consider?
So I go back to mixed use, revenue diverse.
Yeah, no, for sure. Residential, commercial service, all of
Use
that.
revenue diverse, and when people leave Bartlett, they go to St. Charles or Geneva generally to eat because they've got small little boutique
Yeah.
restaurants, whatnot.
They're probably getting pulled in, like St. Charles, you get pulled into that downtown on the west side of the river, mixed use, residential above, so we're kind of right back to that conversation.
St. Charles, Geneva.
St. Charles, Geneva.
I just got back from Florida, and it feels like if you're down on 19, every 5 to 10 miles is a development about this size, and it's like its own little city development, and then it starts over again. And I think that's an important thing to take away from that, is the fact that they were able to create housing, residential, mixed use, commercial, and replicate it, so it's proven,
Yeah,
out of state for sure. I mean,
Celebration, Florida, the villages, on a smaller scale, obviously.
yeah.
I think Elmhurst has a nice downtown. They don't have a river. Naperville by the Riverwalk, that newish development there.
Yeah,
Again, as long as it can sustain itself. Retail makes me nervous.
sure. And I think that's where more of the experience, we'll probably lean more on like the experience type uses and restaurants.
Yeah.
Those I think are maybe in line with what you're looking for, but there's still some retail and some service components to that, but yeah, the balance needs to be a consideration.
Oh, Delafield, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, wow. Okay, yeah,
Or Middleton,
Middleton, yeah.
good.
Mequon.
Anybody else? Any other thoughts or ideas, uses that you feel like we should be considering or exploring? All right, yeah, this was good. This was a lot. Where are we at? 5 minutes. What else? I think the character and intensity, that's something we definitely want to make sure we're dialing in. I know someone made a comment earlier. We're not really looking for lower scale. probably starting to shift away from a more suburban model. And this wants to feel, I would just say, urban appropriate in terms of the development scale, and then balance. You want to transition into the neighborhoods around. That's likely what we'll explore. It'll allow you to take advantage of the site in a way that you can't really do elsewhere in the community. This is that opportunity to really, just take most advantage of the property to the best that you can. Any concerns with that approach? Okay, good.
Given the explanation, mixed-use village character.
Yeah, exactly. I think other than, and one of the things that we talked about here, and we talked about a little bit earlier, is just you have wetlands, you'll have buffers, and in that open space and that programmable area for gathering space, we're going to make sure that that's sort of threaded through the entire site. So it's such a large site, the opportunities are there, and I think as long as you're driving the design to encourage that throughout the site, you just got to make sure that the incentives are there, either through the types of uses or how we handle parking or, even building heights, whatever that might be. Just make sure that that's clear that these are the trade-offs. These are what are important to us. Sorry.
I want to make sure we're cognizant of the middle school there. The traffic concerns at other schools with school buses and parents dropping off become a real problem for our village. So as we develop this, I think we need to make sure that it flows well for the school itself, morning and afternoon, so we don't get bombarded with future problems.
Absolutely, yeah.
Community feedback, I think that's key. Let's hear what they have to say.
Yep.
Do you incorporate like safety, like around the development? Because there's been a lot of people that have been hit crossing there, and now if there's something to cross to,
Oh, sure.
do you make recommendations like, hey, we're going to need something here if people are crossing from, the residential?
Well, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, and the new intersection with the alignment, a four-way stop is significantly safer than two, sort of like when you have a road teeing in to what is already a fast-traveling road. So that alone is going to help, but you're right. I mean, we're creating opportunities and reasons for people to want to cross, so we're going to want to make sure we're mindful of that. Yeah. All right, I don't want to take us right to the end. So any final questions or thoughts or concerns as we start this process? Just so we're clear, the next steps for us, we're going to meet with some focus groups next week that the village has set up for us. So that's going to be next Monday. And then after that, we'll kind of break down all of this input. We'll complete our existing conditions, planning influences component, and then we're going to start moving into the sketch options. So next time we meet with you, we'll be presenting 3 sketch options to get your feedback. That'll take us into the public process where we're going to get their feedback. Nothing's final. This is very much us sort of iterating and getting thoughts, and we'll go from there. I do want to collect these sheets.
Can we have these collected later and sent to you, or do you want them tonight? Because some of it's not filled out. Do you want us to finish filling this out?
Oh, you don't have to fill it out. It was okay. This was more to facilitate the discussion. As long as you filled out the front, hopefully.
Right.
If you want, you can take a photo of it. But we'll summarize everything. And I'll say this, if you do have any additional thoughts, I always leave a meeting and was like, I had a really good idea. Just pass that to Christy. She'll send it to us. We'll make sure we incorporate it in. I think Christy, we may want to share with the trustee who wasn't here. Maybe they can fill this out. You're already on it. I should have guessed. Okay. No, that's great. But yeah, no, anyways, final thoughts. Thank you so much for your time. If you do want to share any other ideas in the future, please feel free to reach out, and we're excited to get started on this process.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved by trustee Daney, second by trustee Laporte. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Betterman?
Yes.
Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Hopkins? Laporte?
Yes.
Swansky?
Yes.
We are adjourned.